Emeril, what have you done now? An air fryer 360 with French doors? That's awesome. Let's do a quick unboxing. Here's our air fry 360 French door completely unboxed. Now there's still some tape around the doors. I just wanted to show you something. Inside the styrofoam happens to be some of our accessories, so don't throw those away, otherwise you might miss out on a few things. Let's continue this unboxing. Now for the moment of truth. We just removed our tape. We're going to grab one of the doors and open. Lo and behold, they both open. That is pretty awesome. I will say that the crack between the door seems to be pretty tight. I can still see a little space there, but I know my caloric it's much wider, and that was a concern for many people. Let's continue with the unboxing, and then we're going to set this right here is our drip tray or our crumb tray. Now this came installed underneath the heating elements, and so that's where it needs to remain. So we have a wire rack, and you can use that for baking or whatever. You're just holding things on top. After the wire rack, we actually have a baking pan. So you can either put the baking pan into one of the tray shelves there, or you can set it on top of the wire rack, because the doors do close when it's like that as well. We love our crisper trays for when you're going to be doing some air frying, so that's a must-have. For those of you that love to grill, it does come with a grill tray. Now I'm just sticking these in open slots. These aren't necessarily the spots you're supposed to. I'm just showing you all the different parts that you get. And when you do use that grill plate, it's going to be really hot. So they include this grill handle or grill plate handle that you can just take it out with. That's a pretty cool little feature. Now, of course, it does come with a rotisserie spit. You actually have to put that together, but it's real simple. We'll show you that at a later time. And then, of course, there is this fetching tool for when you want to take your rotisserie out of the air fry 360. All right, so I just read through the directions, and you're supposed to wash all of those things that it came with it in warm soapy water. It recommends hand wash and not to use a dishwasher. Also, you can wipe down the inside of this and the doors, but of course don't submerge this into water because, well, it's an electronic device. They say to use this on a countertop that is safe for heat. Also, do not operate below cupboards or close to anything within 5 inches. So that's the left, the right, the back, the top cannot be within 5 inches of this device. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go wash this stuff up. We are going to do initial burn off to burn off any oils from the factory. But before that, I'm going to empty this out and give you a measurement of the air fryer. So our measurements, we have about 12 inches deep, 12 inches wide, and between the two sets of heating elements, you have about 6.5 inches. So that's what you can fit in here. I've only opened my doors a handful of times, and I can already tell you that they're not closing well. In fact, you can see me just pushing in here. They're wanting to fight against me. So I'm not sure. That seems to me like a point that could be a weakness to this unit. Before we go much further, if you're new here, my name is Jeff, and this is Jeff Reviews for You. I review a whole lot of products. I specialize in reviewing as seen on TV items. Every once in a while, I do a little bit of a DIY just because I like to. If that aligns with something that you're looking for on the internet, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and click the bell below. That way you're notified every time I release a video just like this one. One more thing, don't forget to check down the description for my social media, Instagram and Twitter. I would love it if you would follow me there too. Now, let's get back to reviewing Emeril Lagasse's French door air fryer 360. And can you even believe it's been 2 years since I posted my original review of the original air fry 360, and it's been about a year since I reviewed the caloric, and they've come out with another one this year. Let's get right back to it. I wanted to show you the cord. It's on the back, and it's really, really short. It's only 30 inches long, and while the directions tell you to plug this directly into a wall, and so you're going to have this stationed close to a wall outlet because they recommend not using an extension cord. So we just turn this on and we immediately get power, and I do like the look. You have your blue around the dial, and this almost looks like a really nice digital output. I'm going to show you a few things. So right now, I don't know if you can see this over here, but our air fry is lit. If I want to change that to a different setting, I'm just going to use the wheel. See how I'm moving that back and forth? I can go backwards or forward to get to whatever setting I want. Once we've reached what we want to do with our air fry 360, we actually can just push the start button. Watch this blue dial. It immediately turns red, letting us know that this is hot. Now, once we're done with the cooking, and this will be at the end of the 60 minutes here, that will turn back to blue, but at least on the interim, that is the color it's going to be. I can push pause, and then I know it's no longer in the heating phase necessarily. It's now just pausing, but also I can cancel the whole thing if I want to. Another thing to note, if you push and hold cancel, The unit shuts off after about 5 seconds. I have a couple more features I want to show you. You see this little clock right here? If you push that, you can actually change the time that you are actually cooking. I was at 18 minutes and I can wheel this thing all the way up. Now I'm at an hour and that's the maximum it lets me go, at least on pizza. If I want to change the temperature, I just click on the thermometer looking thing there and I can change it that way as well. You may notice this little fan button. Well, that's you changing the fan speed. Now, it's not available on all features. I'll show you what I mean. So if I'm on air fry and I hit start, I cannot do anything with the fan speed because air fry always has it on the highest. But now if we're going to go to grill and I push start, I can change the fan speed to high, low, or off, that kind of thing. So that's the fan speed, but it does not work on every feature. Some have a default fan speed that you have to do. Now let's do our burn off. The directions tell you just run it for a few minutes, and that's not very specific for me. What I've done in the past is I tend to turn this on the steak cycle and run it. This steak cycle is at 500 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I'm going to run it for 12 minutes. So let's hit start to burn off the oils and such from the factory. We're still in the burn off state, but there's a few things I want you to note. One, this says pH, and if I were to be cooking a steak right now, this oven is preheating, and therefore when it gets to the correct temperature, it's going to tell me to put my steak in. Also, if you look right here at the top, you see that line there under the fan, and then this one right here that has a line at the bottom. That's just showing you that both heating elements are on during this process. We are within about 6 minutes of starting this, and yes, it's still preheating, but I wanted to make a quick observation. There's a terrible odor coming off of this machine. Some people, it might actually give you a headache. Other people might not care at all. I just will say, as you're burning off the oils or whatever from the factory, it will stink. We finished the burn off. I actually ran it through the steak part. I did it 2 times. So it was like, 24 total minutes of the high temperature. I felt that was good enough. Now, we're going to cook some wings. Our directions tell us we are going to put this on 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to use the air fry. It's already there. And we are actually going to cook for 25 to 30 minutes. So we're going to click the time. We're going to put that all the way up to 30. So when we hit start, you notice that it did not have a warm up part. I don't really care for that a whole lot. So I'm going to let this warm up for a little bit. And I'm going to change my time to maybe 34 minutes. And I'm going to start this over. All right, so here we are at 34 minutes. I'm going to let this preheat now for the first 4 minutes, and I'm going to add my wings. You notice how we're on the air fry mode, and the indicator for only the top element is on, and this is also on high speed, so this wind is just blowing through this entire air fryer, making it as hot as it can be. All right, so we're going to hit pause to stop that process of getting warm. Open these all the way up. Here's our wings. These are uncooked, but coated. The directions are, we're gonna heat these for 25 to 30 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm sliding this in at the air fry level. Close it up. And by air fry level, you can see where it says number 5 and it lines up right here. Let's hit start again. And now let's check in on these chicken wings over the next 30 minutes. We are approaching the 12-minute cook time so far, and the only thing I can tell you is these wings smell amazing. I wanted to clarify something of why I chose the air fry setting instead of the wing setting. The package of wings that I purchased actually said to use the air fry mode on your air fryer, 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes, so I'm going to try it out there. If it doesn't end up working out, I'm going to try the wing setting another time, but I'm just trying this out for now. You can see that the grease is just dripping off. It looks great. It smells great. I'm excited to see what happens at the end. All right, let's get a quick temperature rating of this door. It ranges all over the place. All I can tell you, it is very hot. Looking at about 57 degrees Celsius, 134 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, it's that temperature on the front and the back. The sides, however, are much cooler at 71 degrees Fahrenheit and about 22 degrees Celsius. So you're good on the sides, but the front and back is very hot. I don't know if you can tell, but those doors are getting very nasty. It's going to be annoying to clean all that grease off. Because the directions said 25 to 30 minutes, I'm going to pause it right now just to check the internal temperature of a couple of these wings. I could also use this tool to help with the basket. At least that's what they tell me. Maybe I can do it this way. Oh yeah, maybe I go through there. That's how you do it. All right, so I just pulled those out. Now let's check the temperature. All right, so I checked one of these and I got as high as 200 degrees Fahrenheit, which is definitely over the mark. This one's up as high as there as well. Let's check in here. Yeah, these look like they're definitely done, so I'm glad I checked them. I'm trying not to hit the bone because they are little, but I think we're pretty much done. So good news is I ended it before the time because no one likes burnt wings. Yeah, they all look like they're over the mark. They have it about 25 minutes following a 4 or so minute preheat, and we have some delicious wings ready to eat. Because I like things clean, I'm gonna clean this right away. So I've turned the machine off, and so what I have is I have a wash rag. It does have some soap on it. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna clean off these doors. I am gonna take the bottom tray to the sink and clean it. I just like to keep things clean. Now, I will come back with a wash rag that has no soap on it. I just wanna make sure I could break down some of that grease first. So I'm about to cook some fries. So I can either choose the air fry or the fries. It doesn't really matter. It's gonna do the exact same thing because I'm gonna change the temperature to 360 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm gonna change the time to 10 minutes. So either one I was gonna have to adjust. So now I'm gonna do is, actually I'll put this up to 12 because I'll do 2 minutes of a preheat. Not that the directions say it has to, I just like doing that. All right, let's pause this, open up our doors, make sure they click. Slide in our air fryer, or our basket with our fries. Now this tells me to cook for 5 minutes and then mix them up and cook for the other 5 minutes. Let's let it go again. Just about approaching the halfway time, so let's hit pause. I'm gonna open these up. I would just use the grill plate handle, but it's easier to use my silicone glove here. And all I'm gonna do is shake these up a little. Oops, probably should have used something else because I spilled one inside. Now that I cleaned up my mess and had a little more order to my shaking around, put them back in there, and let's hit the start again. I'm gonna pull these out just a little bit. I'm gonna check a few. I like mine really crispy. And these are, you know what, these are French fried done, but they're not crispy like I like them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick them in. And you know what, it's funny, the air fryer up there is telling me 6 minutes. I was thinking 5 more minutes, but let's do that. We're just about halfway through overtime. I'm gonna open it up, and you notice that this did not stop when the door's open, so make sure you click pause. Let's open this up and see. They're definitely getting crispier, but I'm gonna let them go a little longer. As I've been cooking, I've noticed some steam coming out of the door, both on this side and the other side. Here we come to the moment of truth. We are officially beeping after our 16 minutes, first 10 and then an additional 6. Let's use our handle, pull this out. Ooh, those are hot and they feel crispy. Now, you might like them done this much. You might want to take them further. That's up to you. Just keep making sure you're mixing them up so they cook evenly. I let my fries go for yet another 6 minutes, so 22 minutes in total, and they are the perfect level of crispiness that I like. We've air fried a few things. Now, let's bake some muffins from scratch. Not really. We're going to use a Betty Crocker muffin mix. Well, actually, we're not going to make muffins either. My muffin mix is too big for this air fryer, so we're going to make some bread with the muffin mix. The directions tell us to bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit, so let's go there. And our time is between 35 and 45 minutes, so let's just put this at 40. I want to make sure this does a preheat, and it does. I like that because we need to put our bread mix in at a hot temperature. So let's come back when this preheat is done. So I have been cleaning this between uses, but look at the fog inside there. Let's open and see what happens. You can see all that steam coming out. That's interesting. It took about 4 minutes for this to heat up, and I definitely see the heating elements glowing red. I'm putting this in at the 4-5 mark. Make sure I put it in straight. There we go. And close it up. I will be checking on it, but realistically in 35-40 minutes we should have some bread. All I can tell you is this smells amazing. Let me see if I can get a little zoom in on that. So it looks like it's getting pretty well cooked, right? And so I have about 6 minutes, and as you know, I went up to as high as 40 at the start of this. So what I'm gonna do is in about 30 seconds, I'm gonna take it out, poke a fork down into it and see if it's done. Let's pull it out and look at it. It's getting pretty golden on top. That's about as much as I like to get it to cook on the top. Let me poke this fork in. Fork looks pretty clean to me. Let's sit this down for about 15 minutes to let it cool down. We're done for the night, so we're gonna turn this off. As you notice, it powers down, it says off, but it still runs the fan because it's cooling down the air fryer oven. And once it's done cooling, it'll shut off completely. So the outside crust was a bit darker than I like it, but the inside is very soft and dense, and it was delicious. As with all of these little air fryers, it takes a little time to get used to cooking. So next time I do some bread, I'll probably do it for a minute or two less. And then hopefully it'll be the best loaf of bread. This one's not so bad. I've eaten part of it and it's actually really delicious. In this video, we were looking at the Emeril Lagasse French Door Air Fry 360. So what did I think about? Well, first things first, let's talk about the price. And it is a mind-blowing $350. I couldn't even believe it when I bought it. I was like, whoa, that's very expensive. I do like all the technology that's crammed into this air fryer. I like that you could bake, you could broil, you could grill, you can air fry, you can dehydrate. There's a lot of things. And even though I only touched on a few of them in this video, I will be releasing other videos demonstrating the other features. So make sure you look for that. And you know what? If there's something you want to see, let me know down in the comment section below which feature would you like to be tested. As with all of these appliances, they take a little getting used to. Sometimes you have to turn the temperature up or down or extend the cooking time or reduce it. But to be honest with you, that's part of the fun of cooking. Don't forget to come back to part 2 where I continue testing all the features on the French Door Air Fry 360. In the end, if this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by and I hope you have a great day. Funny thing is, that problem I had with the doors popping open just stopped. I guess the machine fixed itself. Very odd. I could not end this video without at least showing how very similar the caloric is to the French Door Air Fryer 360. Now, the Air Fry 360 does look a little bit bigger, and yes, it is a little bit bigger on the inside, but they are very similar. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of the French Door Air Fryer 360. You know what? In this video, I actually referenced my original review of the Air Fryer 360. I'm going to link that right up here. I also reviewed the caloric air fryer. I'm going to link a playlist right up here. And I would love it if you would click on one of these links. And when you do, by the magic of the internet, I'm going to join you here or here. So go ahead, click one. They're safe, I promise.
Okay, so just wanted to show off this cool feature. We just unboxed this new French Door Air Fryer. This is the Emeril Lagasse French Door Air Fryer 360. But check this out. So the doors are linked, which is really cool. And they just open together with one hand, which is really cool because I'm so used to products that look nice but aren't really well made. And I mean, just from the onset of opening this, everything about it seems like it is going to be top notch. Has air fry pan, regular grill, also came with sort of like a cast iron grate and a drip pan and a cookie sheet. So really cool. We're going to fire it up and make some more videos on how it works.